Welcome, welcome to Today from the Lord. And it's Wellness Wednesday, y'all. And of course, one is feeling jubilant. Yes, I am. Well, today's Wellness Wednesday. And what are we going to talk about today? All about our well-being and everything that entails for our mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual health. Let me love you. I know. I'm a love and not a fighter. That's just me. But let's see what our national day is today before we get into the love scene. So, I don't know. I just feel silly today. Hey, it is what it is. So, today's National Day. Well, I had a few that I thought was kind of okay. And then I was like, I'm not talking about that. So you have National Fajita Day. Then you had National Mail Order Catalog Day. And then you had National Ice Cream Pie Day. No. And then you had Congressional Startup Day. I said, well, let's be sensible. What does that mean? So around the country, Congressional Startup Day creates a platform for entrepreneurs to connect with their lawmakers. The day is designed for startups to express concerns. Every small business owner aims for a flourishing business. Sometimes the struggles they face require a change in policy. When the opportunity arises to explain the issues and barriers, most startups jump at the chance. Congressional Startup Day provides that opening. The day includes a week's worth of events in each district each year, and representatives from Congress return to their districts. They listen to and support their small business, startups, and new entrepreneurs. Most importantly, business owners share their ideas where they develop them in their districts. As a result, they demonstrate the impact they have on the communities in their communities, and policymakers get a first-hand look at the benefits and concerns too. While the day strives to find solutions to obstacles facing startups, it does even more. It also recognizes the ingenuity, creativity, and passion of startups. Small businesses provide immense value to each state's economy. Without them, many communities would struggle. I agree. So, how do we observe Congressional Startup Day? Join with congressional leaders throughout the week. Check with your congressional representation to see what events they are offering in your state. Share your ideas and be part of the experience. Use startups everywhere and Congressional Startup Week to share on social media. Be sure to take that moment to learn about the Small Business Week and also how it can have a positive impact on your life if you are choosing, desiring, becoming a small business, a startup, and an entrepreneur. So, where does history come from? In 2013, Representatives John Polis and Darrell Issa founded Startup Day across America. Their goal focused on opening vital channels of discussion between small business owners and their representatives. The idea illustrates to policymakers the difficulties they face. And in 2018, the event expanded to Startup Week across America, providing more opportunities for business owners and representatives to develop policy. As a result, more time allowed significant strides toward improved business relationships. So Startup Week across America continued to evolve into 2019, and it became Congressional Startup Day, with week-long events focused on startups and their needs across the country. And if you're interested in anything to help you along your way, Mind Your Business is a great book. It's The Lean Startup by Eric Ries is a good book. And Starting a Business Quick Start Guide is also a good book. So those are little tips for those of you who want to start a business. And I thought that was a great thing to have a look at today, because I'm all about business and having, a residual income and other forms of income for you to get on and build your wealth and leave a legacy, not just financial, but also health, spiritual, emotional, and physical as well for your family. So that's our National Day today. So, what are we going to be talking about on our Wellness Wednesday? Let Me Love You Day. That's what I just wanted to bring some love into the world. Things are happening terrible around. Sadly, we've lost lives again from our families in Haiti. The earthquake is just horrible, and we're already dealing with COVID. Then you have Afghanistan struggling, and as America and the UK pull out, the Taliban has resurged and taken back the country as it was before. Is it going to be a better place? So we've got so many people around the world that are going through things right now, and we need to be more supporters. We need some love. And I just thought this would be something that we could talk about today. So let me love you. Know this, my beloved brothers, let every person be quick to hear, slow to speak, and slow to anger. And that's James 1:19. At the end of every summer, when my kids were growing up, I could always count on one thing. The day before school started, anxiety ran rampant. As the sun began to lower, my children's uneasy emotions rose higher as unanswered questions came to the surface. Mummy, will my friends from last year be in my class this year? I don't want them to move me. Will my teacher like me? Will I have someone to sit with me in the lunchroom? And can I make new friends in this class if I'm changed? I will try to answer every question to settle their hearts. Looking back, I wished I had simply been more of an empathetic listener, allowing them to get all their nervous questions out in the open without me needing to share all the solutions. Sometimes in life, what we need more than anything is someone to simply listen. An ear that will take in all the rumblings of an apprehensive heart and not feel the need to say a thing. A person who will not be in a rush to try to make it right. I've always been a better talker than a listener. I think I'm a bit guilty of that sometimes. In fact, a well-meaning teacher once meant me memorize James 1:19, which says, "Know this, my beloved brothers, let every person be quick to hear, slow to speak, and slow to anger." Up until recently, I had viewed this verse as the voice from my childhood saying, "Lynn, you talk too much." Recently, though, I began to look at this as an instruction for my roles today as a daughter, a mother, a wife, a friend, a co-laborer, a challenge not just to talk less, but to truly listen to those around me. James gives us the wisdom and the challenge to be empathetic to listeners others desperately need. He calls each of us, no matter what role we are filling at the moment, to slow down and listen. Not mentally preparing to share a story from my life, not scrolling through the verses I can recall so I can adhere a band aid on their sadness, not reminding them to look on the bright side so I can dismiss their feelings that are making me uncomfortable, not moving on so I can get to what's left on my to do list. And yes, I've made all of these mistakes before. Instead, James, while reminding us we are loved, calls us to move quickly to a position of listening and to move slowly, even with caution, to a place of speaking. I am so challenged by James' words. I am a get it done kind of girl who wants to get things right so I can move on to getting other things right. James reminds me getting things done is not the goal. Loving people well is my goal. Listening is loving people well. And with Jesus' power in us and James' words before us, you and I can love people as we listen well. And I just read that version and I said, wow, that is so powerful. That is what we need today. People want to be heard. People don't want you to stick a band-aid or just pull out because now you've had enough and this is it for the day. They need you to actually hear them, the words that they're saying, actively listening. And that's how when you love others, you listen to them. You take the time to care about what they have to say. And it's just such a remedial, soothing, relaxing, and releasing thing when you know you've been listened to. Someone actually heard you today, and that makes you feel loved, especially if it's from the people around you that are your nearest and dearest. So I want us to take more of a conscientious effort to really listen to one another these days. Take the time to actively hear what someone is trying to say. Jesus, our natural bent is to be quick to speak and slow to listen. But I want to love people well, just as you did. So empower me to slow down and truly begin to hear those around me. In your holy and most precious name, amen. So, have you ever had a moment when you felt totally alone? Have you ever been afraid that if people really knew you, they wouldn't like you? In the moments when we shy away from letting people know us, or in the moments when we feel alone, we can look at what God says about us in His Word. You have searched me, Lord, and you know me. Psalms 131:1. This is so important. Sometimes we don't want to speak because we're fearful of if the person begins to really hear who we are. Being vulnerable is often really difficult. Being vulnerable, being open, being laid bare about you can create such fear of vulnerability. It's it makes people anxious. It makes people like nervous. It makes people clam up. It makes them say, "Oh, I can't talk about this. It's fine. I'm okay." When really you're not, and you want someone to hear. Unjudgmental, no judgment, just genuine authenticity, listening to what you have to say. And sometimes we really need to make an effort to be that person for somebody. So, for some deeper thought, Philippians 2:4, let each of you look not only to his own interests, but also to the interests of others. And the book of Proverbs provides much wisdom for those of us who struggle to listen well. Take a few moments to look up these words of King Solomon, Proverbs 1:5, Proverbs 18-13, and Proverbs 18:2. And then write out your own personalized proverb to yourself to follow. What and who do you know that would say is an empathetic listener? What specific qualities do they exhibit? Let me know. Who do you know that you would say really takes the time to listen to you? And what specific qualities do they exhibit that is maybe something that you could take on or something that you admire because you know they genuinely care about you? So that's me letting you know we've got to be more loving to each other. We've got to take the time to love on each other. Make conscientious efforts to listen. Listen to our children. Listen to our young people. Listen to our seniors. Listen to our colleagues. Listen to the birds. Get out there in nature and just listen to the earth, to the world, and what it's saying to us about taking care and remembering I'm here for you, then take care too. Let's do more recycling. Let's be more eco-friendly to our world around us. Let's listen and show our love by taking the time to hear what others truly have to say. So, on this Wellness Wednesday, I want you to remember you're loved, you're important, and you are fearfully and wonderfully made. If you ever need to talk, don't forget, you can always get in touch, contact me, book a free call just so I can listen, because I do. Stay blessed all and take care of yourselves. Be safe. Bye bye.